Welcome to another lost railway town. The first lost railway town we're filming in 2026. We're in North Yorkshire and this is the town of Loftus, a town that lost its railway in the 1960s. The station closed, the tracks were lifted, and for over a decade the railway was completely gone. But then something unusual happened. In the 1970s the line was rebuilt, and today trains pass through Loftus, just not for the reason you might expect. But first, a little about the town. A population of around 8,000 people, sitting on the North Yorkshire / Cleveland coast between Middlesbrough and Whitby. But towns like this don't just appear by accident. Loftus grew because of what's beneath it. This part of the Cleveland coast is rich in ironstone, and in the 19th century that made it one of the most important industrial areas in the country. Mines, railways and processing works were spread right across this landscape, all built to extract and move that material. And the railway through Loftus was a key part of that system. The railways arrived in what was then known as Loft House in 1867, but only for goods and as a terminus station. The name was changed to today's version, Loftus, in 1874, a year before the station opened to passengers, and the through line to Whitby was opened in 1883. Like many towns, Loftus lost its station during the decline of Britain's railways, but there are some notable remains today. So what remains of Loftus station then? So the goods shed's just the other side of this wall. Is this the station approach, Phil?
Well, it would have had two platforms, you'd have thought, wouldn't you?
There's a goods shed in there, look.
Here's the approach from both sides. The station frontage looks like to be I'm not sure actually.
It's the other side, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
New deck on this bridge, so you're of the opinion or the thought, Phil, that they've had to put stronger bridges in when they started to carry bigger trains to the like the Boulby mine.
Well, this is probably the second structure in a matter of minutes of seeing where it's had a rebuilt bridge, so I reckon that's a theme going along, isn't it?
A bit brutalist, aren't they, in the design?
Yeah.
I've not seen any photographs. I wonder what bridge this actually replaced. And is it on the original actual track bed? And there, look, just by the bridge there, we've got the old station house. It's another remnant of the railway in Loftus. I mean, this has changed beyond recognition, but if we can see on the old maps, there used to be some steps coming down off the eastbound platform. Another railway remains in Loftus, the Station Hotel. I'm not sure if that's still a pub, to be honest. Loftus lost its passenger service in 1960 and goods traffic in 1963, and the lines taken up shortly after. However, in 1974, the railway made a return, not for passengers, but for industry. This was to serve the nearby extensive Boulby potash mine. The railway wasn't just reopened, a lot of the bridges were rebuilt and trackbed realigned to serve the heavier goods traffic. The railway lives on, just without the town. Now, to show you something interesting just on the west side of the town, a 19th century viaduct that still technically exists, just hidden. And this was Kilton Viaduct.
Could do a 66 coming down now, couldn't you?
So this viaduct's been filled in. So it was a viaduct, it's now an embankment.
Yeah, so this line, if you think about it, only opened in 1867. By the time of 50 years or so later, it was so bad for subsidence from the mining due to the Liverton mine, which is way down below us. It was becoming necessary to take some kind of action on it because the piers are all subsiding. So all the spoil tips around here belonging to the one or two mines down there, they used it all. They've actually filled in the whole of the viaduct. And it was a very long viaduct, so can you imagine how much spoil that would have took?
Wow.
So if you look at the position of this line now, what they'd have done, this would have been a two-track line. What they did, when they finished doing it, they completely filled it in. They had to re-divert the beck that used to run under it. It's had to run under a very long culvert now. It's somewhere below us. They've skewed the line into the middle to make it, I don't know, keep the line in the middle as opposed to on the end, because underneath here is all the arches. But it's a strange, quirky thing that underneath us is a viaduct, but it isn't. And unfortunately, they've had to fence this off a lot, but you can see now the clues that this was a viaduct are a little bit obvious, because look how high, it's hard to judge on that image. But from a distance looking afar, I feel like I'm on a viaduct. Do you, when you look in the distance?
It's a long way down.
Yeah, it's really strange, and yet the embankment is there.
You basically just built a dam across the valley.
It's just bizarre, yeah. Because when I approached it, I thought, oh, look at this huge gap we're going across. Well, we are, but we're on solid land, aren't we? So it's a really strange feeling.
But this is a great spectacle, standing here when one of them loaded.
It is, yeah. But even looking with this fence here, this looks like a viaduct. I feel like I'm on one, don't you, a little bit?
I didn't realise.
Maybe I've got, what do you have it? You know, when you see ghosts and spirits, you have a certain ability to see a certain scent. I think I might have it when it comes to railways. Anyway, move on. 207 metres long, this viaduct.
Yeah.
12 piers, 46 metres from below, where the beck runs. You compare that with some of the viaducts we have gone on, and it's similar or higher, actually. It's a fairly hefty structure, or was, or still is, whichever way you want to look at it.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking over the viaduct here then, wouldn't we?
Yeah. And it still feels like a viaduct. Yeah, I guess if there were no shrubbery and trees, it would look like one. I mean, the green fence to the left kind of makes it not be a viaduct, but it's to protect people from, you know, falling down the infill.
Can you think of any other locations or examples of this where a viaduct or structure has been completely buried like that? So a railway that arrived, then died, and then was reborn. The station might be gone, but the line lives on, serving the very industry that allowed Loftus to grow in the first place. The nearest station to here is Saltburn, further up the line, but just look how much this line snakes its way between there and Loftus, hugging the cliff tops in places. A thanks to all my channel members and channel supporters, and don't forget to like and subscribe and leave me a comment. So thanks for watching, we'll see you on the next one.
Yep, see ya.
Some figures of this viaduct then. What was it, 207 arches?
207 arches, wow.
Not arches.
Oh my God, how long is this viaduct? No, 12
arches.
12 or 14 arches, yeah. It's 150 feet off the valley floor. And I can't remember how long it was.
There was a 200 number somewhere.
Hold on, let's just get that again. You threw me off. I got all in my head and you start chucking fingers about. Right, 207 metres long.
Oh, that's it, that's fine.
207, 14, 12 piers, 207 metres, 150 feet up. Or let's call it a metre, 46 metres above the bottom. Right, I'm ready.
Oh, we only need to do that last bit. I'll try that again, Phil.
What, you want dimensions?
Well, yeah, let's do it properly now.
Right. 207 metres long, this viaduct.
Yeah.
12 piers, 46 metres from below, where the beck runs.
Right, that'll do.
You compare that with some of the viaducts we have gone on, and it's similar or higher, actually. It's a fairly hefty structure, or was, or still is, whichever way you want to look at it.
Somewhere.
Yeah.